Here's a hack. I've been looking for a tow rope for my tender. I was searching online. I got quotations, four, five, six, $700, and then it hit me. Uh, these tow ropes that are made for tubes, they have a 4,000 pound rating, and they float, so they're not going to get caught in your prop. So basically, I'm going to rig up a tow rope using this tube tow rope and two of my mooring lines. I bought floats for the mooring lines to keep them afloat, so when they're next to the boat they don't get caught in the prop. And I'll be able to tow my tender with this. And I actually bought this at a marine flea market for $5, but I'm sure you can get them in the stores for $30 or something like that. And you've got yourself a tow rope, and actually it's pretty long, so you could cut it in half if it's too long for your needs. Use this together with this shackle and clip, and I've got an old mooring line that's become pretty frayed, so I'm not going to cut that off, but I'm not going to use that portion, and I'll thread these two floats onto this mooring line so that it floats. And this is going to be the main connection to the boat, and then I'll attach the floating tow rope to the tender. Let's see how it goes. So basically I want to find the middle of my old mooring line and eliminate these little bad spots. So I'm not going to be using this portion, but I'll probably cut it. I'm not sure if I want to cut it, but I probably will. And we'll make that be our main bridle that's connected to our boat. So I'll measure it from here and find the middle. And I found the middle here. I'll tie a very sophisticated knot in this middle, like so. And I'll thread the floats onto this mooring line so it floats. So that's going to be connected to the boat. Thank God for a good old Leatherman. My dad always said the right tool for the job, and there's some tools on a boat that you may not think you need, but they're quite handy to have. And a hot knife is one of them. They're great for cutting lines. They terminate the line. My wife, as you see, has been sewing all the cushions for our boat, and cutting sunbrella cloth with a hot knife is a no-brainer. It terminates the edges. There's no fraying. So if you have the space, you have the power, get yourself a hot knife. I also have a propane powered one on board which doubles as a soldering iron, but these are really cool for cutting lines. I also like having scrap pieces of wood on the boat. You need to drill a hole in something or burn a line. Look at that, cuts like butter. You just don't want to be breathing in these fumes. Cuts like butter. And then you can touch the edges as well to make sure it's well terminated. That does the trick. Leave that there for that to cool. So let's try this again. The floating line will be connected to this. This end will be connected to the boat. And these should keep this line from sinking and getting into my props. I actually do have another set, thinking I might put two of them on here. I think this is much more tow line than I need. But I have a fundamental problem cutting ropes. I don't know about you, but I do not like cutting a line. So I'll just thread this through here. Let's thread it in, and we can choose what length we want this to be. So I'm thinking, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's about just over 30 feet. I think that gives me enough distance from the boat. Horrible slide. Engineering is not a precise science, so we'll do this by trial and error. This will also act like a shock cord as well for the tender. Provide more flotation for the line. Alright, let's check that length. See if we've hit the magic number. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that should be pretty good. So connect this shackle to the floating line, and we should be good to go. I'll just tie a bowline in these and connect it to my cleat. This is what it looks like. The mooring line obviously sinks, but I put these floats on it, and the tube tow line floats, and that knot that I put to shorten the line is going to give it even more buoyancy. So these may need to be a bit shorter to keep them out of my prop. So I think I'll shorten those by a couple of feet. But I don't know, that looks like that's gonna work to me. And all told, that didn't cost much. You know, those floats were about $20 on Amazon. And like I said, the tube tow line, you could probably get it at West Marine or Amazon for about $30. And look at that, that's looks like it might work. Wish me luck. I'll keep you guys updated. Chewy supervised all the work. Chewy, did everything look like it was well done to you? I shortened the bridle to make sure it doesn't get into the prop. And everything's looking fantastic.